really interesting line here in a very meaningful game with Toronto and Seattle. You got Felix Hernandez taking the mound for the Mariners versus Aaron Sanchez, who's cooled off a little bit from his really hot first half. Quick note on our total play yesterday, Tampa Bay, New York, under the total. Here's an idea, Tampa Bay. If you have a base open and the hottest hitter in baseball is up, go ahead and put him on base, especially when there's 2 outs instead of pitching to him. 3-run jack, that pretty much ended our under the total. Still, we're 12-1 for September. We can't complain too much. Since July, we've been doing all right. Let's go. Let's start breaking this one down here. I'm going to back over the total of 8 with Sanchez getting the start for Toronto and Felix Hernandez getting the start for Seattle. Now, this total would have been much lower the first half of the season, but these two guys have struggled recently, and I like for both these teams to go ahead and have some good quality at bats. Aaron Sanchez gets start for Toronto. He comes in 3.17 ERA, 1.18 whip, got hammered versus Boston his last start, allowing 6 earned runs. And he's been really kind of hot and cold this second half of the season, much different than his first half. He's coming off a little bit of an injury here, so I don't expect him to come in and completely shut out a good Seattle offense that's had their own struggles recently. I expect for them to go ahead and break out today. Toronto offensively, they've also just a much different hitting team. I want to say they've been struggling recently, and they have just a little bit, but much different team on the road than they are at home. Still, this is a very dangerous offense. I think they're going to be able to score today off of Felix Hernandez and Hernandez. Maybe he's just getting a little bit older. Very interesting numbers for him. He comes in 3.79 ERA, 1.31 whip, along with a shocking 4.10 ERA at home. I mean, gosh, recently over his last several starts, he's gotten hammered a few times, a couple times by Texas. For example, he got hammered by Minnesota. I mean, he just had his struggles. So I don't know what to say. He's just not as sharp as what we've seen from him in years past. His numbers across the board are some of his career worst. So there's no reason to think he's going to come in and dominate a Toronto team, especially in this game, when Toronto's going to come in believing they can hit him. There's nothing to be intimidated about. Now, offensively, Seattle, they've had their struggles over the last several games, but they're catching Sanchez, I think, in a good spot. So combined, Sanchez, Hernandez looks like it would be a great pitching matchup, but there's a reason odds makers have this total at 8. So I'm going to back over the total. That's one of my major league picks, and I wish you guys luck on your picks today.
Always on the go? Bet365 has one of the top mobile platforms in today's market. Sign up today and don't let your busy life keep you out of the game.